Oh my gosh. So we're literally casually late. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I actually didn't get off work until 6, and then I got to Cece's house and we were watching What Not to Wear, and it was kind of
Well, and eating
interesting.
too.
Yeah,
That was
and
the
we
main thing again.
yes, we were eating also. We had some nice little cheeseburger sliders and fries, and they were really good.
Yeah.
So we always like to eat before we podcast, so we're not like hungry during it. But yeah, I see that there's been a lot of chatter, so I guess we're gonna have to go back and see what everybody's talking about because I feel like it is some interesting stuff. Oh, Mike, you were in the hospital?
Uh-oh.
I see. I miss a lot. Let's see what. Oh, okay. I guess he got. Mike, did you get your gallbladder out? Is that what it was? Yeah. So it looks like, according to what the chat says, Mike got his gallbladder out.
Oh, wow.
So I believe that's Michael S, I think, is what I want to say. Because I think he changed his name. Although I'm always confused, I feel like. So it looks like he got his gallbladder out and they gave him medicine for nausea. Okay, so it sounds like, they're doing what they need to do, which is good because it can be difficult sometimes. Yeah, sorry guys, but we are here. I know that Michael did drop me a message and he was like, "Hey," he goes, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
we're
Sorry
a little
about that.
we're a little casually late, but yeah. Hi Annie J also. Hi Dawn. I'm glad to see that you're all here. Sorry that we're late. So yeah, this is Two Chicks Tell All. It's your girl Tay Tay here.
And Cece.
All right, and I don't think we really need a disclaimer, in all honesty.
No,
because I
we'll
don't
probably
think...
be mentioning names since we're talking about real people.
Yes, we are. So I kind of wanted to go over like a breaking news topic, I guess. So I'm trying to remember what day it was. Could you Google real quick?
Yeah, I'll check it.
Okay. So I was actually at work whenever I found out that this happened. So one of my coworkers happened to get like an update on his phone and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "Did you know Jerry Springer passed away?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I said, "What happened?" Cuz I didn't even know.
The 27th.
On the 27th. So that would have been Thursday. Yeah, that would have been Thursday. So he passed away on Thursday. And I was just in shock because hadn't really heard anything from him in a while. So I didn't really know like what was going on. So I got my coworker to just like see if he could find out like what happened, which
it appears he had pancreatic cancer.
So that
must have been
yeah. So at the time on Thursday, whenever I got this piece of information, which you have to understand, I love me some trash, like some trash talk TV is what I call it, pretty much. Like that type of stuff, like Jerry Springer, Maury, Steve Wilkos, like that is all up my alley. Like that's some good entertainment there. Like I could watch Jerry Springer for hours, probably. Like it's that good. I don't even care that a lot of the stories were made up. Probably like 90% of them. I don't care. Like it was some good television, and he forever had like a great I'm trying to think of the word. He's contributed greatly to like the world of television, I feel like. Because I mean, we had him all those years. We were entertained for plenty of years.
Right.
And some of it may have been a little risque, but we were entertained for plenty of years.
You were always waiting for the moment when you sensed that the fights were going to start breaking.
Yes.
And then the bouncers that he had on the stage trying to keep the crowd under control and everything, it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, Annie J. Cece just looked it up and it's pancreatic cancer, which at the time, whenever I found out about what had happened, they had only identified it as an illness, and he passed away from an illness. So, like they didn't really have a word as to like what it was at that point in time. So, but now I guess they've found out what it is. Hey, Zach. But yeah, he was also a judge on Judge Jerry. I forgot about that. That was like a current thing, or fairly current, if I remember right. Yes, Steve Wilkos was a part of the Jerry Springer show, and then he got his own show, which I think, I think Steve Wilkos was definitely strong enough to carry on his own show. If you've ever watched that show, like, he was very good. Michael says that Jerry Springer was our mayor here in Cincinnati, which I was actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, because I'm going to get into that. So basically, what I did is we're just going to do a little tribute to Jerry Springer, because I feel like it's a relevant topic, and here we are. So just some little facts about Jerry Springer and some stuff that you may not have known, because I read some of this stuff and a lot of it was stuff that I didn't even know. So it was kind of interesting. So he was born Gerald Norman Springer, which that's where they get the Jerry from, is what I'm assuming. Jerry, Gerald. He was born on February 13th, 1944 in Highgate, London, England in the UK, which I didn't even know that. So that was kind of interesting.
I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah, the Maury Show was the Who's Your Daddy show.
Yeah,
you are the father.
You are the father. You are not the father. You are the father.
That was Maury, but Jerry Springer had some like paternity show things, if I remember right, too. But I think Maury was more known for that.
Yeah.
So he was actually a producer and a writer for Austin Powers. I didn't know that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I believe it was the Austin Powers movie that came out in 2007.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't. Okay, now I remember.
So that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. He actually had a lot of talent that like I didn't even realize he had after reading up on it. So he was married to Margaret Velton from 1973 to 1993. That was the only information that I got spouse-wise. So I think he never got remarried from the sounds of it, is what it sounded like to me. He has one child, Katie Springer, and he was also known for having a variety of unconventional guests with bizarre stories, which he definitely had that.
Yeah, since the show, I mean, you think about it, how his shows were and his guests on the show. So.
Yeah, they were all a little bit special. And it was just like, you think, oh, like this is a weird situation. Well, in 5 seconds, it gets weirder.
Right.
Typically.
Yeah.
Like I married my second cousin twice removed, but I'm also screwing my fourth cousin who lives down the road. Like,
right.
It was like that type of stuff that, your jaw would just like drop with like a lot of it. But yeah, it was some crazy stuff. So so this was interesting. He was born in an underground station after his family fled the Holocaust. His family moved to Queens, New York when Jerry was 5 years old. So I didn't know that either.
No.
So that was a little tidbit of information that I did not know. His daughter was born without nasal passages and had surgery after she was born. She is also legally blind and deaf in one ear, and she works as an assistant in working with special needs children. So that was kind of interesting. Just getting into a little bit of his like family life also. So this is interesting. I didn't know this either, but Jerry is the vice president of the Muscular Dystrophy Association, which I could see that, with his daughter having some special needs herself.
Right. Yeah.
I could see, that makes sense that he's an advocate, for special needs. Okay, I'm going to cut this for a second, but we're watching What Not to Wear.
It's on in the background.
So there's this guy, and he was this like real rough looking biker dude. Like he was rough.
Yeah.
And they just did like a complete makeover on him and gave him some new clothes and like cut his hair. And he actually looks real good.
I know. It looks like a completely different person.
Yeah, like he actually looks pretty darn good like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to have a break in conversation because I just saw that.
What?
I know. My jaw dropped to that too. So another interesting tidbit of information. So Jerry was a country singer and songwriter, and he opened for Billy Ray Cyrus And he also performed at Johnny Depp's club called the Viper Room.
Oh my God. No, I think I remember hearing something about the Johnny Depp thing.
So that's just like, I guess, a little bit of information about Jerry Springer. And I think he was a big contributor to television and, you know, different things like that. I mean, you definitely don't find people like him anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if a lot of that stuff would go over well on TV nowadays with just how everything is. But, you know, his TV show definitely reigns as one of the classics, you know, that will constantly live on.
Yeah.
So do you have anything you would like to add?
Well, just in some of the other shows that were, you know, kind of mentioned, and some of them in the sense that they call them the trash TV talk shows.
Oh yeah.
But remember Ricky Lake?
I didn't like her that much.
I didn't really like. I watched her on occasion, but not like all the time.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan. You know that there was a lot of those talk shows that got in trouble for different things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like there was a lot that happened there. Another one that I like actually, which I don't know if she's considered trash television because I feel like she's a little bit classy, is Sally Jessy Raphael.
Oh yeah.
I don't consider her like trash, like talk trash TV, because I feel like she, you know, was very insightful and she cared about her guests. And like, I mean, Jerry Springer definitely cared about his guests. I could tell that, you know. But Jerry Springer was about the drama though,
right?
At the same time, you know, he was all about the shock factor. And I've actually, you know, watched different things on the Jerry Springer show, and some of his producers, you know, just kept pushing him to just be more and more extreme like each episode. So, you know,
right, yeah.
So it was definitely a lot of it was just for like shock factor and just how much can we push this envelope until it gets fully pushed.
Right,
pretty much.
Yeah.
So
he definitely learned how to work it.
But yeah, Sally Jessy Raphael, I don't consider her trash talk though, because I feel like I said, she was very classy and like insightful, and I don't feel like she had insane guests on her show.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like she was a little bit different, but she was good too.
Some of the other, like, these were more like judge related shows that were the Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown. Remember
I love all the judge shows. I used to watch those with my granddad back in the day. Like I'd be chilling at his house and he'd throw the judge shows on and we'd be watching the judge shows.
Yeah. Yeah, and it mentions Sally Jessy again.
Yes. Michael said that Roseanne had a talk show. I don't
Oh yeah, I
don't remember that.
I don't think it lasted that long, but yeah, I do. I think remember now seeing that. Well, one of the
that was Rosie O'Donnell. That was different. Never mind.
One of the ones that was real popular like back in the day was Phil Donahue.
Oh, he was.
You remember him? He did like his show started, I think, in like 1967 or something.
Yeah.
Well, he did a radio talk show first in the 1960s, and then ended up having a TV show.
And actually, if we want to get into like the pioneers of talk trash television, look up Morton Downey Jr.
Oh yeah.
So he was like the OG. If you're asking me, in my personal opinion, he was like the OG of talk trash television. Like I feel like he kind of paved the way for like the Maury's and the Jerry's and like the Steve Wilkos. Right. I feel like he kind of set the bar, but I feel like he got very political, and that's not something that I typically enjoy. Right. Like I feel like Morton Downey, like he pushed the envelope and he really pushed like his guests. I know that. Like I've watched like some of his episodes of his TV show like on YouTube, and he would literally like nag his guests.
Right. Yeah.
So it was just like he definitely paved the way for, like I said, what was to come. But I feel like he was kind of on a different level also.
Oh yeah.
Judge Judy is hands down the best. I agree.
And then remember Geraldo Rivera?
Oh my gosh,
so that one premiered in '87 was when it came on.
Didn't one of his shows had to get shut down
for like controversial topics and guests. So it had another like kind of this type of crowd or guest that he followed. But yeah, that one was another kind of trash one.
Yeah, didn't one of his shows get shut down like halfway through
I think so,
because like there started to be like a brawl or something. It was one of his like heavily political shows, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat if you remember seeing that episode, because I've seen it on YouTube, but I forget what the episode was. But I just remember that, you know, it was a very like, I guess, race themed episode is what it was, I guess would be the right way to say it.
Right.
And there ended up being like a huge fight, like right in the middle of the TV show. And like, I know like Geraldo's nose got like broken and like there were chairs thrown. Like it was like a full on brawl that they had to like shut the TV show down, if I remember right.
Right.
So I was kind of surprised that they let Trash Talk TV go on after that one.
Right.
But you know.
But yeah, so about kind of back to Jerry though.
Yeah.
When his show first debuted in '91, like they were telling him like the concept of the show basically was bring somebody out there and then make them reveal a secret and then let the guests physically like fight each other. I mean, that was what it, you know.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, like his
just get on there, go at it, or
and
whatever.
It was funny because I was watching, you know, like a little interview thing. I'm just gonna move that over a minute. I was watching a little like I don't know if it was like an interview thing, but it was like a TV show, like documentary that they did on like Trash Talk television.
Right.
And Jerry Springer, like whenever he first entered the scene, like he was very much looked professional. Like he had glasses on and like he would wear a suit and stuff like that. And if you look at a lot of his early shows, they weren't, you know, trashy like they are now. Like a lot of the older, like a lot of the newer shows of his were like kind of trashy.
Right.
Like a lot of his, like earlier shows were actually not trashy. Like they were very like insightful, interesting topics, you know, like he even helped this one like overweight guy get to the hospital to get surgery.
Oh, nice.
So it was like, you know, he wasn't always, I guess, like as trashy as he was perceived to be like later on. But I feel like deep down though, Jerry Springer, I feel like deep down, you know, take away, you know, the popularity, social aspect of it. I feel like he genuinely cared about people though.
Yeah.
Like deep down, it's just, you know, you have to, you know, get popular out there. So at the time, you know, they were just, you know, pushing the envelope to see as far as it could go.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then it said that they actually made them stop in '99, basically showing like the violence.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, enough of that, you know.
Yeah, but didn't they come back or something? Like they stopped and then they came back, if I remember right, or something like that. Or was the last show in '98?
Let's see. Yeah, well, what is that? That doesn't really say. Oh, in 2018, it aired its final episode on July 26th of 2018.
Oh, okay.
There were 4,969 episodes, and it went on for 27 seasons. So
it went on for a long time.
A long time. I'm sure they'll probably have one of those shows now that'll start running like back-to-back episodes of some of the older shows now since he's passed away.
Yeah. Well, you can find like a lot of the shows like on YouTube, or you can find a lot of them, you know, like even on Roku. I think like there's a whole channel devoted to, is that Adam Lambert? Listen, I used to love me some Adam Lambert back in the day. I don't know what it was, but I used to love me some Adam Lambert back in the day. I'm kind of into those interesting characters.
Definitely showy.
Yeah. That didn't even look like him though. But anyway, yeah. I wonder though, like, are they gonna kind of bring out like somebody that could be the next Jerry Springer?
I know, right?
Like, I'm waiting for just like the next crazy like talk show to come about.
Right. Surely there's got to be something in the works.
Right. So Michael said he made a lot of money from that show. Towards the end, his salary was $10 million per season.
Wow.
So that is a lot of money.
I know, right?
To be making. I think that guy needs to shave his beard. Is anybody watching American Idol this year? Put a 1 in the chat if you're watching American Idol. Because I've kind of given up on it because they got rid of a lot of my favorites. Although that one guy is real cute. I think is his name like Michael or something.
Oh, there is, one really good looking dude on this.
I think Michael Williams. He reminds me of a friend of mine. I think that's why I think he's cute, because he kind of reminds me of a friend of mine who I actually ran into the other night, and that was kind of interesting. Oh yeah, Michael. I can't stand some of them. Like, I can't stand Katie or Luke, really. Lionel might be the only good one.
Oh my God, they're awful. Like, they're awful. Like, I really am more of like the Voice.
Yeah,
I've always watched that one, and it's been this season. I think that they, with adding Chance and Niall on there, are awesome. Like, there's some good judges. Like, I've just fallen in love with them, and I hope they keep them. And it is sad, kind of, I guess, it being Blake's last season, but I do think they've got really good artist on that show, like more so than
Zach, I miss Lyric too, but I also think that she didn't do what the judges told her to do. Like, they wanted her to kind of like, not be so darn cute. And and I feel like she can't be. Like, I love Lyric, don't get me wrong. I absolutely freaking love her. I follow her on TikTok, and like, I watch her YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I loved her before she even like hit Idol. So we all know how that is. But, that's coming from me. I'm just like, girlfriend didn't listen to what the judges said.
Right.
She just went out there and continued to be cute, and that's why she's not there anymore. I feel like she didn't quite take it seriously, but her dad was an 80s singer who had like a bunch of platinum records. So she's probably going to get there at some point still. She probably has a bunch of connections. Is Reba's on The Voice? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, she was one of the like coach kind of that comes in and helps out coach some of the kids. Yeah, she was on there, and I think she's gonna be on there again tomorrow night. It's like her last night or something.
Yeah, and Mariah isn't on American Idol anymore. Mariah Faith. She's actually from where me and Cece live, and that's one of the main reasons I started to watch it this year. And I'm really mad that she didn't make it through like further, because I feel like she's definitely like good enough and has definitely proven herself. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is like popularity.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, if somebody's really hot, they're just going to vote for them. Like, if somebody has like a crazy backstory, they're going to get voted for. Like, it's more of a popularity contest, I think, than actual talent sometimes.
Then people really, considering their voices themselves instead of their story.
Because there's a lot of good people that they got rid of this year. And I don't know. Yeah, they do vote on the looks. I definitely agree with that. Except for this guy with his beard. That Warren guy that looks like Chris Stapleton, though. I think they need to do something with that beard and that hair.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for them to give him a makeover. Oh, my.
Well, I think that was all we had tonight. We just kind of, again, jumped on a whim and covering some recent topics when Tay said, I said, oh, yeah, that's right. You can do that, girl.
Yeah, so I basically just looked up some, like, simple information, some, like, basic information, some things that, you might not have known. But, yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I don't think so.
I know this is definitely one of our shorter podcasts, I feel like. Usually we're going on about something. Do we have any crazy things that happened this week?
Not really.
I mean,
we didn't really do. We were kind of a little low key. We did go out last night.
Yeah, and nothing really like crazy happened.
Yeah, it's kind of that way though. It hasn't been really.
That's because the tourists haven't fully come out yet.
No, it's gonna start picking up, especially when we get through like May, get to Labor Day. That's when it.
I remember me and Cece were sitting at the bar last night, and I said to her, "Where's the interesting people at?"
I know, yeah.
I'm like, I feel like it was just the same damn people that we see all the time.
Yeah, I guess
doing the same damn shit that they do.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not even like the same people maybe acting differently. They're up to the same shit that they were.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is like. Well, there's different people coming in now, but then there's also still the regs, Yeah. And so.
And Dawn, What Not to Wear is not actually on right now. We were watching it on demand.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is actually officially on.
And I don't even know actually if they still have that show on like regular, if what they're showing. Like I know the ones they're showing on this is older ones.
Yeah, I could tell just by some of the styles and stuff like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I have that like Hulu and Hulu Live, so I think it was on that like main home stage where you can flip through.
So too.
And you can basically search on that too, pretty much find anything.
Yeah. I think what I like about these streaming services or like, like a Roku or like, a smart TV or an Amazon Fire Stick is that, you can basically just like go to your home screen and look up anything and they'll tell you exactly where you can find it.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I think that that's very good. Yeah, Dawn, I actually have cable through my HOA, but I don't really use it just because I don't really find anything that interesting. Now, I did watch American Idol on it, the past couple weeks. But if I didn't have to pay, if that wasn't a part of my HOA, I probably wouldn't have it, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Because I'm more of like a streamer. Like I like to watch like my Tubi and I like to watch Paramount Plus and Hulu. And different things like that. I like to just be able to sit and watch a movie with like little to no previews.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like to do. And streaming kind of allows that. Yeah, but What Not to Wear doesn't come on right now. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of interesting things that happened last night. I know that.
No.
Oh my, but it was funny. So I went out with my mom and stepdad on Friday night. And we were just chilling out. So I don't know if anybody knows what like the Carolina Opry is, but probably like it's kind of a world thing. Like a lot of people know about what it is. Well, there used to be this guy on the Carolina Opry named Rory Zach. Put a 1 in the chat if you know who that is. Anyway, if you don't, that's okay too. But anyway, he was on like the Opry for like quite a few years, I think. Like, and he started out as like he was like a youngin' whenever like he started out. So this was probably about like 4 years ago. I went to my first Carolina Opry show, and like I used to have some connections back in the day where it's like I knew, some of the people here and there. So, I was able to kind of like get to know people and like hang out and stuff like that. So I met Rory, and he's super talented. Go look him up. His name's Rory Zach. Super talented. He has a great voice. I think right now he's currently kind of just like touring and doing his own thing. He left the Opry, but he's kind of touring and doing his own thing. Super sweet kid. He's got like a great voice and a great personality. Awesome kid. So anyway, getting to my point. So we're walking past one of the bars and it's called Crocodile Rock. And it's like a dueling piano bar. So it's like you have two people playing piano and they like banter back and forth. And, like they take requests for like insane amounts of money and stuff like that, like it's good fun, and you get in for free if you're a local. So that's kind of cool too. But, anyway, so we're walking past it and my stepdad hops in there and he looks in, he goes, "Hey," he goes, "ain't that the kid from Carolina Opry in there?" And I'm like, what? I said, where? Because I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, you know, so I was kind of, you know, excited for a minute. But yeah, so I was like, I don't know. I said, let's go see. Cause you know, we were able to get in for free because we were locals. So I was like, okay, I said, let's go see. So it looked like him and it sounded like him. I'm like, but I don't know if that's actually him. And my mom's like, well, why don't you go send him a message? I'm like, Mom, I said, I know him, but I don't know him like that. My mom's like, well, just see if it's him. I'm like, I don't know. I said, just hold on a minute. So at the end, they announced who the guys were that were playing that night or playing like that little round. And it was Rory. And I was really excited, you know. So it was funny because he had walked past and I was like, hey, I said, I don't know if you remember me. And he smiled and said he did. I don't know if he actually did, but that's okay if he didn't, because I know it's been a couple years. He smiled and he goes, yeah, I remember. He goes, thanks for coming out. And he gave me like a big hug and it like made my night. So I just wanted to let you know, Rory, you made my night. So it was really just like good to see you again. But I just thought it was kind of funny that my stepdad's even like, isn't that the kid from the Opry? And I'm like, I don't know if it is. Let's go see.
Check it out.
But I always forget that he's like, you know, 24 years old, because he just seems like he's a lot older because he's very mature and like carries himself like he's mature. So I always forget that he's only about 24 and he's just a young whippersnapper. So I'm just like, I'm like, still, you're cute. No. But anyway, that's okay. I'm pretty sure he knows anyway. Zach says, I must have lived under a rock about the Opry. You may have. I don't know. A lot of people don't know what it is, but if you're not aware of what the Carolina Opry is, I'll just give you a little rundown. It's basically like they have singers, they have dancers, they have a background band, and they put on shows like 6 nights a week whenever they're in season.
Yeah.
So these people like freaking work hard. Like I used to know one of the girls who danced over there, and she worked her ass off, literally. Like she was always working, and that woman worked hard, if I remember right. But anyway. So it's basically like a little variety show. Like they do a little bit of comedy, they do a little bit of dancing, they do a little bit of singing. It's very cool, like if you haven't seen it and if you're into that kind of stuff. And it usually has a theme of some kind. Like they'll usually be singing like a certain type of music, or you know, like it'll be for like Christmas or something like that. You know, like they usually have like a different theme for it. But I haven't been to the Opry in years, probably because I don't really have many connections over there anymore. So I don't even know if any of the people that I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people that I used to know that used to be over there aren't even in it anymore, and they're all off doing their own thing. So I don't even know who really is over there anymore, but I would be interested just to kind of check in and go see what that is. Yeah, you should add it to your to-do list. It's good stuff. Cece, yeah, Cece, have you ever been?
No.
Oh, you would like it, I think. I'm pretty sure that.
Now, I've been to the Alabama Theater that they have down there too.
So
saw their Christmas show.
Yeah,
that's like not even on the big scale like the Opera building.
Yeah. So, but the Alabama Theater is also similar to that too.
Yeah.
You know, like they do a lot of like shows where it's like singing and dancing and fancy outfits, and you know, like it's good stuff. Kind of reminds me of like the Legends shows also.
Yeah.
Which I'm a big fan of the Legends shows. I just want to say that I love impersonators. I don't know what it is. But we should do a whole show on that, because I could probably tell you all about that.
That would be a good one.
We should look up like impersonators and like popular impersonators and like what they're up to, because there's listen, they have a lot of Elvis impersonators, and I've probably seen, I'm trying to think, at least a handful of Elvis impersonators, and I want to say that, you know, not all of them have been spot on, but right. You know, there's definitely been like a good amount that have been good though. But yeah, so it was funny. I have yet to find another Frank Sinatra impersonator. I only know of one, and he's awesome, but I don't know of any other ones. That kind of veered off. We kind of did like a whole lot of different talking in this show.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's what usually happens. Like on Two Chicks Tell All, we usually start to talk about one topic, and then we finish it, and then we usually start to talk about something else. But
we go with the flow.
We kind of do. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's kind of how we roll. So I think I told y'all that I had a little part-time job at a restaurant. Well, I ended up quitting because I found a better opportunity at a grocery store. So I started working there, and I started today, and it's probably like the easiest job I've ever had. Just saying. But I think, like, you know, once you've worked one cash register, you've probably worked them all.
Yeah, really.
But I'm kind of glad though that it's going to be a better experience.
For sure, girl.
But I think that's about all I got to say. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, girl, I think that's it.
All right. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to say hey and tell us what you think. And, you know, we'll be back next week.
Yep.
I'm not entirely sure what day because we're going to have to see like what the schedule means for this week. I'm going to be away like a lot of this week. So we'll just have to see like what happens. And I think it's probably just going to be another random topic because we're kind of enjoying doing these like random topics.
Yeah.
You know, maybe something will pop off that's interesting this week that we can talk about too.
Oh, yeah. And we're getting kind of up close to Mother's Day too. So we could maybe do, you know, look at some Mother's Day ideas for people and maybe throw that into what we do. So,
yes.
Even though I think it's still 2 weekends away, but
I think so too.
So we'll see.
But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to send us an email if you have some input that you would like us to know, good or bad, you know. Any type, you know, we love any type of interaction. So just, you know, hit us up if you have something you are dying to tell us because we would love to hear it. So you can hit us up at twochickstellall@gmail.com. It looks exactly like the little microphone symbol that's right in the middle of the screen. So it's not really that hard to navigate. So don't forget to send us an email if you have something that you want to say. Also, I think that we should like get an intro and an outro and maybe like a new banner. So if we have any like creators out there, any like creative people out there that know how to do that kind of stuff, get a hold of us. Cause I think that, you know, if we had an intro and an outro, like that might be kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a cool way to like brand us.
Right.
Cause that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Anyway, oh, you're welcome, Dawn. I'm glad that you stopped by. I had fun with you on Annie J's little art pop-up lives that she's been doing. It's been kind of fun. But anyway, so I think that's all we have. So we're gonna sign off for the night. So it's your girl Tay Tay here
and Cece,
and we'll talk to y'all later.
Peace out.